my trusted friend of steel. You know the exhaustion that I truly feel. The engine is weak now, the paint's worn and thin, but the faith that still drives me comes from deep within. And the roar of the engine becomes my own prayer, tearing the soul and my heart full of care, asking for blessings, for the rain to come down. My God, without your strength, I'd surely drown. How many cold dawns have you seen me through, while the morning was silent and covered in dew, a witness in silence to all of my strain and my talks with the Lord again and again. You've broken down on me out in the middle of nowhere, but it was right there I fell to my knees in prayer. And the fix that then came wasn't just the machine, it was the touch of your grace, holy and clean. One day this old engine will finally fade, and I'll rest from the choices and mistakes that I've made. But until that day comes, I'll keep plowing the ground with my old rusty tractor. Your praises I'll sound, and the roar of the engine becomes my own prayer, tearing the soul and my heart full of care, asking for blessings, for the rain to come down. My God, without your strength, I'd surely drown. The gate is now broken, the cattle have strayed, the rain washed away all the plans that I'd made. The bank wants its money, the debt's old and deep. It feels like this life is an uphill so steep. But a friend is worth more, with a hand you can hold, and a God who can calm a soul that's grown cold. Than all of the money the world can possess, but without God and a friend, your life is a mess. My neighbor pulled up in his old pickup truck, said, "Don't you go worrying, we'll change your bad luck." He gathered the ranch hands and mended the fence. Hey, friendship's the one thing that truly makes sense. My wife brought me coffee, her hands soft and warm, said, "Darling, don't worry, we'll weather this storm." And the strength that I feel isn't from my own might, it comes from the love that makes everything right. and live in a prison of fear that it brings. I gather my friends and I plant seeds of grace. That's a harvest I'll take to a much better place. Every mark on my hand, every line on my face, tell a story of struggle, of grit and of grace, of wet muddy earth, of the sun and the dust, of a lifetime spent holding a sacred trust. These are the battle scars, they don't come from the fall. They're the marks of a warrior who answers God's call. Each one reminds me of where I have been, and that your amazing grace has washed me clean. I remember the day that the long drought came by, took all of the hope that the green grass supplied. But down in the dust, my faith didn't break, 'cause who trusts the promise, the prize he will take. The barbed wire fences have cut through my skin, but not through the bond that I have deep within. The pain was a teacher that came to explain that you have to be wounded to heal from the rain. I won't trade my marks for a soft silken bed. They're my own personal map, my life's watershed. They prove that I fell, but I stood up more strong, guided by God where I truly belong. I drew my own blueprints, my plans and my maps. I charted my shortcuts, avoiding the traps. I thought I was the master of the path I would walk, but I just kept on stumbling around the whole block. 'Cause God rides straight with some crooked old lines. He closes the windows and opens new signs. Where I see an ending, he sees a new start. God's plan for my life is a true work of art. The road that I chose, it seemed so straight and so true, but it led to a desert with no guiding view. It was there in my failure I called out his name, and the crooked line brought me right out of the flame. The door that I wanted and tried to break through was the very same one that would have trapped me and you. God saved me from all of my foolish desires, victory that never expired. day I don't make any plans, I just pray. I give up my worries at the start of each day. 'Cause the lines of my life I can't understand, but I know that the rider holds me in his hand. 'Cause God rides straight with some crooked old lines. He closes the windows and opens new signs. Where I see an ending, he sees a new start. God's plan for my life is a true work of art. There I see an ending, he sees a new start. God's plan for my life is a true work of art. I have walked through the valleys of darkness and pain. I've felt the cold fear and the sorrowful rain. But in every footstep and each time I fell, I knew that my life had a new story to tell. I know that one day this dirt road will end, and that heaven's gate will be Jesus, my friend. He won't ask for my silver or my cattle and herd. He'll just say, come on in, son, with those loving words. I'm not bringing luggage, I'm not bringing wealth, just the faith in my heart for my spiritual health. The calloused old hands that my life's work has made are the proof of a faith that will not ever fade. I'll see my own father and my mother again, and sing in the choir with all of my kin, in a hymn full of glory, of peace and of light, beside the great throne of my God in plain sight. The goodbyes on this earth are just see you soon, for those who believe underneath the same moon. The gate of this world one day closes for all, but heaven's gate opens when you hear the call. This red-colored earth that sticks to my boot, that marks up my face and my life's every route. To some it's just dirt, it's just mud and a mess. To me it's the altar of my holiness. This isn't just dust, this is hallowed ground, where I plant all my seeds and my thoughts can be found. It's a sacred old earth that my God gave to me. It's the dust that we came from for all men to see. It was on this hard ground that I bent my own knee and saw in my tears God's reflection of me. It was in the same dust that I saw the new seed sprout up and then prove that our God is here indeed. The man from the city, he can't understand the smell of the rain on this thirsty old land. The honor it is to live off what you sow, and the strength that the earth makes inside of you grow. One day this old body, tired and so frail, will return to this earth. That's the end of the trail. But the soul that is yearning for God's holy place becomes a new star, leaving the dust without trace. My father left me no silver or gold, just a worn pair of boots and a story he told. A dusty straw hat and advice from a friend. My son, with the Lord, you'll win in the end. This is the inheritance that money can't buy, a faith that can lift me when my spirit runs dry, a love for the land and a bond strong and true. This is worth more than anything new. He taught me to read both the wind and the sky, to know when a good, honest thought passes by. He said that the earth gives you all that it can, but what comes from heaven makes you a better man. His hands were so callous from working the plow, but his touch was so gentle, I feel it right now. He taught me a man's true measure and worth isn't in his own strength, but his kindness on earth. Today he is plowing God's heavenly land, and the time that has passed I don't understand. But I look to the sky and I know he can see that his legacy lives on inside of me. From the porch of my ranch, I can see it up there on the top of the hill, a sign of true care, a cross made of oak, planted deep in the ground by an old-time believer, the best man around. That old cross on the hill is telling me still that even at the top we must follow his will, that to look to the heavens and be forgiven, you must keep your feet planted on the ground you are given. It sees the sun rising, it sees the night fall, it sees the rain pouring and standing up tall, a witness to everything, the joy and the pain, a constant reminder of his holy reign. They say that the rancher, while working one day, lost all of his cattle and started to pray. And there on his knees, a new peace he had found, so he raised up that cross on that sacred ground. When my heart feels heavy and doubt starts to creep, I look to that cross and my faith runs so deep in the grace of our God, in a love without end. That cross is my lighthouse, my guide and my friend. Starts to rise, the rooster is crowing, a brand new sunrise. On the old wooden table, the bread and the grapes, a promise his mercy is still in this place. And in the last sip of coffee I say my own prayer. I thank you, dear Lord, for a day beyond compare. I ask you for strength and for courage to be a Christian with faith for the whole world to see. The bitter old taste reminds me of life, the struggles, the losses, the pain and the strife. But but the sweetness of sugar that I pour right in is the grace of my God, where new hopes can begin. It's a ritual that's simple but so full of meaning, a sacred old moment my soul is now gleaning. Before I go face the hot sun and the fields, I look for the strength that my Father's love yields. While the rest of the world is running in fear, I stop my own time, for I know you are near. And in this hot coffee my spirit's renewed, to be a good soldier with faith I'm imbued. I cried out your name in the valley so deep. I asked for a sign for my soul just to keep, but all that I heard was the echo of me, a lonely old soul in pure agony. But the silence of God is an answer, you see. It's Him gently saying, just trust and believe. I am working on things that your eyes cannot see. In the silence of God I learned to be free. Sometimes we just want a quick answer right now, a thunder from heaven, a miraculous vow. But a faith that is real, a faith that has worth, blooms in the silence of pain on this earth. A father won't give what his child cannot bear. His absence is proof of His love and His care. He teaches me how to walk on my own 2 feet and draw my strength from His mercy so sweet. So when the night comes and brings me to tears, and the only response is the sum of my fears, I'll embrace the great silence and I'll understand that He's teaching